everyone. Just quickly confirm audio video is clear. Everything is good. Kindly confirm audio video is clear. If you are preparing for GATE examination, definitely this session will be the most effective session for you. Today I am here to discuss about all the frequently asked concepts in GATE examination, especially for those subjects in which the concepts are slightly tricky. So we will going to talk about everything what is important regarding preparation of GATE examination in these last 2 months and what all topics not to miss out. So my dear students, as you were already preparing for GATE examination since last 5-6 months, this is the high time to especially take care about those concepts in which the chances of getting asked in the examination is highest. Okay, let me start like this. Probably by this time all the students majorly they have completed all the subjects. Most of them have gone almost 80% of the subjects they have done, and the other students are on the verge of completing their syllabus probably by mid of December. Okay, now sir, how to proceed from this point onwards? As you have read like most of the things, so you might be aware about there are three very important subjects, especially if I talk about technical subjects. First one is geotechnical engineering, which is asked for almost 15 to 16 marks in the examination. And then you have environmental engineering, which is asked around 10 to 12 marks in the examination. And then you have subjects like transportation engineering, which is again asked for 9 to 12 marks in the examination. So these three technical subjects are very, very important. Now, talking about the important concepts, especially if I talk about environmental engineering, my dear students. So, environmental engineering has majorly four parts. First one is raw water engineering, second one is wastewater engineering, third one is solid waste management, and fourth one is air pollution. Especially if I talk about solid waste and air pollution, the chances of getting a question is highest. And the best part is you will get easiest of the question from these two segments. In solid waste management, proximate analysis is again a very important area from where a very easy question from energy content or moisture content can be framed. And if I talk about air pollution, there is a concept of unit conversion from ppm to microgram per meter cube and reverse of that, microgram per meter cube from ppm. So that is again a very important numerical which should be taken care while preparing in these 2 months. Okay. Now talking about remaining part of environmental engineering. So if I talk about raw water engineering, in raw water engineering, there is a segment of treatment of raw water. In that, there is one very important thing which is termed as sedimentation analysis. Concept is very easy, and the numericals framed from this segment is again very easy, and the chances of you getting the question from this segment may be the highest. Okay. After sedimentation analysis, you have the topic of filtration, where you talk about slow sand and rapid sand filter. And then you have the topic of disinfection, which is again a very, very important topic regarding raw water engineering. So these three topics should be taken care very well. I'm not saying that other topics are not important. Very good evening, Sachin. Very good evening. I'm not saying other topics are not important, but the chances of these three topics to be asked in the examination is slightly more over the other topics. Now, talking about water quality parameters, majorly there are three types of water quality parameters: physical, chemical, and biological water quality parameters. If I have to precisely tell you what all water quality parameters are slightly more important, so first one is the solids. How to determine solids? A very easy numerical can be framed from it. Okay. Now, coming to chemical water quality parameter, we have alkalinity, hardness, and pH. Very important from exam point of view. It can be any exam. It can be GATE examination, engineering service examination. Sir, any idea about exam timing? Sachin, already the exam timing is out, and the best part is right now your this thing. I think tomorrow is the last date. Good evening. Tomorrow is the last date. If you want to fill up another paper, so till tomorrow you can fill that. So right now, as of now, 17th of February is the civil engineering examination in forenoon and afternoon session. So eventually in the gate admit card that you will get in the month of January, your slot will be allotted to you, and then you can refer to that slot. Okay. Now I was talking about this water quality parameter. So alkalinity, hardness, and pH are the three very important topics from where the questions can be framed. Okay. Apart from that, from last 2 3 years, what we are observing is they are asking questions from basic chemistry. Okay. They will going to give you 2 3 elements of nitrogen, and then they will ask you what is the total concentration of nitrogen. Sir, is there any another paper means we can write two separate parts, na sir, and in second half same exam as second half? That is not your headache, right? If you, for example, if you're filling environment as your second paper, so accordingly the slots are provided to you, right? If environment is there in the second slot, then eventually you will get civil engineering as the first slot. In fact, the dates are also different, so you need not to worry about that. You have a chance to fill in second paper, so you can just have the second paper, right? Majorly most of the students who are writing civil engineering paper, they opt for environmental engineering, looking into the demand of engineers in sustainability segment, right? So you can also go for it. Fine. Yeah. So, as you have already watched our YouTube session, so like few days back, we have announced the Gate Score Booster series. Okay. So tomorrow on 20th of November, I'm coming with the first Gate Score Booster sessions in which I will be taking care of raw water engineering. My idea for Gate Score Booster sessions will be I want to cover the syllabus with numericals, which is the most important part, right? Theory you have already read. Even if you revise your notebook for 2 3 times, it may not be that helpful, but eventually if you can apply your concepts after reading the theory, that is more helpful from this point onwards. So first set of reading you have already done. In fact, some of you have also revised the subject, but this is a high time to practice questions. That is why we conducted this Gate Score Booster sessions, and from tomorrow onwards we will be starting with that, right? So tomorrow will be the first Gate Score Booster session for environment, where I'll be taking care the important topics. And if you want, I can also extend it to discuss few concepts as well. Okay. So it depends on your thing. If you want me to discuss the concepts along with the numericals, that can also be done. Okay. So if you want, you can comment that in the comment box and I'll take care of it. Okay. Then the next core booster sessions of environment will be on 22nd of November, in which I'll be taking care of raw water, wastewater engineering, solid waste management, and air pollution. Okay. Now, talking about wastewater engineering, my dear, wastewater engineering is a very critical segment of environmental engineering. Reason being, if you're filling the second paper as environmental engineering, then the chances of getting a question from wastewater engineering will be the highest. There are so many concepts, especially critical concepts like BOD, disposal of sewage effluent in the river. Then you have oxygen deficit curve. All these things will frame a very good quality questions. So again, my target will be to discuss all these things in the Gate Score Booster session, especially the second session that will happen on the 22nd of November. The timing is 9 to 9, 6 to 9 p.m. The timing is as such that people, even who after doing the job or after completing the college, may attend the session. And it is my personal request you stay in the live session, because in the live session, when we are solving any numericals, if any concept confusion is there, you can ask it directly. So that will actually going to help you to resolve your doubts. Okay. After this, my dear students, so if I talk about environment, so I have told you that for raw water engineering, 3 4 topics are there. Then wastewater engineering, we have the part of BOD and disposal of sewage effluent. After that, the most important segment is the biological treatment. In that biological treatment, we have seen the analysis of activated sludge process, and there is a efficiency formula for trickling filters. So these two are again very important topics from where a numerical answer type question can be framed. Now, most of the students find environmental challenging. Reason is environment requires some knowing the data, right? Some facts are required. And a very good quality multiple select questions can be framed from environment. With respect to other examinations where numericals and theory portions are asked simultaneously, this gate examination is an exam where if you get a theory question, it may not be an easy one. Mark my words, theoretical question will be slightly tricky questions, which will require certain sort of thought process, which will require certain sort of understanding of the concept. Okay. It may not be a directly fact based question where they will directly ask you a numerical value and you have to just do the answers. It will be not like that. You have to understand the language, you have to understand what is asked, what is written, and accordingly you need to answer it. For that, deep understanding of the concept is very important. That needs to be done. Okay. So this is the portion of environmental engineering, which is again a highly weighted subject in the gate examination. Okay. After that, you have another very important subject, which is strength of material. A strength of material is a basic subject to read structural analysis, RCC, and steel structures that you have already read, and you might be knowing that. But, sir, from structural analysis, what are the key segments from where the questions can be asked? So, my dear, first of all, the entire subject is important. Reason being, any of the concepts can be used to analyze further subjects like structural analysis, like RCC and steel structures. But precisely over the years, what we have seen that the chances for civil engineering students to get a question from shear force and bending moment diagram is the highest. Reason is, in structural analysis, we use a lot of shear force and bending moment diagram to analyze the structure. That is why this topic is very important from strength of material point of view. After that, another concept is the concept of principal stresses and strain. My dear, this concept is used in fluid mechanics. This concept is used in geotechnical engineering. This concept is used in many, many ways, like especially also in transportation engineering. So, this principal stresses and strain is again a very, very important topic. Now, the thing here is, while dealing with this topic, student try to remember so many formulas which creates confusion at the last moment. Okay, so my thing will be to give you certain numericals and to give you a set of formula and make you understand those formula in such a way that you will never forget those formulas and you will never get confused. So I'll be coming up with the gate score booster sessions on strength of material. There will be two sessions on 26th and 27th of November. Again, the timing will be from 6 to 9 p.m. In the first session of strength of material, I'll be discussing the concepts of simple stresses and strain, then shear force and bending moment diagram. Then I'll be discussing bending and shear stresses, and then torsion of shafts. In the second session, I'll be dealing up with principal stresses and strain, deflection of beams. Very, very important topic for both the students, civil and mechanical engineering students. Then we have thin pressure vessels and columns analogy. So these are the topics of the second session of Gate Score Booster session of Strength of Material that will be conducted on 26th and 27th of November. If I have to just summarize quickly, in Strength of Material, three important topics: shear force and bending moment diagram, principal stresses and strain, and then you have deflection of beams. For mechanical engineering students, torsion of shaft may be slightly important because they require shaft in certain designs, especially when they read about theory of machines and other subjects like that, they require the design of shafts. So torsion of shafts will be more important for mechanical engineering students, right? You keep on posting. If you have any doubt is popping up your mind, you can just keep on posting your doubts. You can ask your question as well in the chat box. Okay, after this, there are two subjects for civil engineering, that is structural analysis and construction material and management. My dear, these two are the highest scoring areas in civil engineering. For other exam, a structural analysis may be a complicated subject. But in GATE examination, what we have seen from last few years, the question asked from the structural analysis are very easy, very easy. Especially if you talk about the concepts of indeterminacy, static and kinematic indeterminacy, truss analysis, then you have force method, then you have displacement method of analysis, moment distribution method and slope deflection method, right? Then you have influence line diagram. So this is the major syllabus. But if I talk about the important areas from where you can definitely get a question in the exam, is degree of static and kinematic indeterminacy. That is your first topic. Second is the common topic, that is the analysis of determinate structure. Now, when you get a question from this segment, this is the common topic between engineering mechanics and structural analysis. So again, a very easy question can be framed from here. After that, you have a very good concept of influence line diagram. Questions framed may be tricky sometimes, but most of the times you have seen easy questions framed from influence line diagram, right? So these are the three major areas from where you can have a very easy question in the examination. Although you have force method of analysis and displacement method of analysis, those are important as well. And eventually you may get a question. But if you get a question from force method of analysis, where we talk about principle of superposition, then we talk about strain energy principles, unit load method, right? So I can list down the entire syllabus. But instead of that, I will be giving you three important topics for structural analysis, that is degree of static and kinematic indeterminacy, analysis of determinate structure, determinate trusses, and third one will be influence line diagram. Apart from that, the entire subject is important, that I already said. Okay. Now, moving ahead with this, the next very easy subject is construction material and management, which comprises of two parts: materials and the management part. Material includes steel, cement, and concrete. Right. Especially if I talk about steel, you have the properties of Bogues compounds, from where a very good analytical question can be framed. So that can be an important part. If I talk about concrete, so in concrete, we have a concept of strength, workability, factors affecting strength and workability. So you read that properly. Because if they have to frame a very good quality multiple select question where some thought process or analysis is required, so first will be the concept of Bogues compounds and properties. Second will be workability concept and the strength concept of concrete. Right. Especially, you can also have a very easy numerical from concrete where they can ask you to calculate the weight of the ingredients, and they can ask you to do a mixed design. Okay, so that can be another thing. But okay, you can have this thing. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so you can have these two important areas from where you can have good quality multiple select questions. Now, coming to the management part, my dear, critical path method, network analysis, network diagram, in which you need to find out the total float, project duration. Those are like easiest segment of the gate exam. And I'm telling you one thing: if you are like doing certain mistake in calculating these questions, properly not solving these questions, then probably you might lose your rank somewhere, right? So whenever you are attempting the questions from this network analysis, especially the critical path method and the PERT analysis, you have to be alert, you have to be sure what you are doing, and you should have to attempt it with 100% accuracy. We cannot afford to make a network question incorrect in the examination, because other students who might be scoring well in the examination will not do this question wrong. Okay, so critical path method PERT analysis is again a very important, in which you have different types of time estimates. Right. So we will going to discuss all these things in our gate score booster sessions. Especially, we will take up numericals on these two topics, and we will going to see the thorough detail of these two topics. Okay. Best part is, if you look into the PYQs, you will not find many PYQs, previous year gate questions, from these two important topics, but we will going to see good quality network diagram from these two topics. Right. So the gate score booster sessions for structural analysis and construction material and management will be conducted on 30th of November and 1st of December. The timing will be same, 6 to 9 p.m., and I'll need your support in that, so that even you I can help you to revise the entire concept in very less time. Okay. After that, my dear student, again a very important subject. The best part is it is just one chapter of your fluid mechanics, and that is your open channel flow. Open channel flow basically consists of four different types of topics, in which, if you look into the entire analysis of open channel flow, it starts with channel geometrics, then we go with channel transition, then we analyze the critical flow, then you have uniform, non-uniform flow, and then you have the hydraulic jump. After reading the flow profiles, we have the hydraulic jump. So this is the complete syllabus of open channel flow. It is a very small subject. The best part is, in last gate 2024, what we have observed is fluid mechanics was asked for 4 to 5 marks, and only open channel flow was asked for 5 marks. So you can see the difference, right? So I'm here just to give you this insight that if you read open channel flow thoroughly, you can increase your chances of scoring well in the examination. So if I have to just summarize this entire thing, in civil engineering, three technical subjects are very important: geotechnical engineering, environmental engineering, and then transportation engineering. Apart from maths and aptitude, so it's very important. In that, I have told you about the important topics of environmental engineering, important topics of strength of material, important topics of structural analysis, construction material and management, and then you have a very important topic of open channel flow. Okay. Now, in last few days, I got this question from the students: ki, sir, shall I leave this subject or that subject? uh, I should revise for more number of times after leaving one subject. So first of all, I am never in a favor to leave any subject. Okay. Especially if you are targeting a great rank in the examination. If you are targeting PSU job, if you are targeting IIT for MTech or IISc Bangalore for MTech, never leave any subject. It is very dangerous thing to do. Okay. Instead, what you can do is, if I talk about subject like steel structures, right, where the syllabus is less, marks weightage is somewhat less. Student have this thinking, okay, sir, I'll leave the entire subject. Never do that. At least do these topics of steel structures. First one is the connection. You have three different types of connection: bolted, riveted, and welded connections. Do it thoroughly. Second most important topic is the plastic analysis. A very easy question can be framed from here, especially from the plastic analysis. So, if I talk about steel structures, these two topics are very, very important. Never miss out on these topics. We have other topics like we have compression member, tension members, beams, purlins, all those things are there. So, that can also be read. But instead of leaving the complete subject, at least you can go with these two topics if you are planning to leave this subject of steel structures. So, first, never do that. Second, a very analytical subject like fluid mechanics gives a heart attack sometimes. Okay. So for civil engineering student, this is the best news for you. If fluid mechanics is giving you a heart attack, then I'm here to solve this problem. If you look into the entire subject of fluid mechanics and you observe for civil engineering students, we get a regular question from fluid statics. Okay, especially when you need to find out the force over a plate. It can be an inclined plate, curved plate, right? So that topic you should do. Second important area for us is flow through pipes, in which you need to find out the head losses due to different case scenarios. So these two important topics are there for civil engineering students from fluid mechanics point of view. So if fluid mechanics is giving you a headache, at least these two topics you should do instead of leaving the subject. Okay. Apart from that, syllabus, everything is important, right? But chances of getting a question from these two areas will be slightly more. So you can do these two topics for fluid mechanics. Apart from that, before reading fluid mechanics, it's my personal advice to all the students, please read engineering mechanics. Because in fluid mechanics, there are use of vector calculus in the kinematics part. And if you take a fluid mechanics directly without reading engineering mechanics, then it will be a serious problem for you, especially when you need to deal with the differential equations, vector calculus formulas. So student don't have those basics and they directly start reading, and it creates a confusion. A lot of confusion is created. So better, if you want to read fluid mechanics, first finish your engineering mathematics and then you start with fluid mechanics. Okay. So these are the two very critical subjects like steel structures and fluid mechanics. Apart from that, the highly scoring area, if I talk about in GATE examination, mark my words, highly scoring area in GATE is the subject like surveying, geomatics. Second is the subject of structural analysis. Third is the subject of construction material and management. Fourth subject is open channel flow. Four topics, right? And if you just combine these four topics, eventually you can realize that you can get 15 to 20 marks very easily in the GATE exam. Very easily. So if you just observe the overall picture, 15 marks of aptitude, 13 to 15 marks of mathematics, and these four subjects that I have listed, in the worst case scenario, you can at least get 12 to 15 marks from these subjects, right? 28 plus 15 will be 43 marks, right? 28 plus 15 is 43 marks. And if you read the other three important subjects like geotechnical engineering, environmental engineering, and transportation engineering, again, your marks can boost like anything. In today's highly competitive era, if you don't do the smart work, if you don't analyze the subjects properly, eventually you may not land up in getting good marks in the examination. But if you do this kind of analysis, where you need to find out what are your key scoring areas, then eventually you can land into a very great zone of like getting good marks. One more point I would like to discuss here is previously I was talking to so many students and I was discussing about how to improve marks. Okay. So instead of improving marks, most of them are attempting the test series. So instead of improving marks, my dear, you should start looking into improving in number of correct questions, and eventually your marks will improve. I'll give you one example. For example, you are taking a chapter test of 20 questions. Okay. There are two ways of scoring 10 marks in this in this chapter test. One is just attempting 5 2 marks questions, that's all. That will eventually help you to get 10 marks. Okay. The another way is you have done 18 19 questions, out of them more than half of them are incorrect, and remaining correct questions have eventually landed you into 10 marks. Now the thing is, both the scenarios are very dangerous. If you are attempting very less question, then also it is very dangerous. If you are attempting too many incorrect questions, that scenario is also very dangerous. The correct analysis that can be done here is, if you are attempting questions have almost 70 to 90% accuracy, more than 70%, that is compulsory. Means you have to be 70% plus sure about the question that you are attempting. Okay. Now, sir, where usually we can score well? So, if you have analyzed your test series properly, you can have this conclusion from that test series that if a directly formula based question is asked in the examination, you can very easily solve it. There is no problem in that. But if any conceptual question came in the examination, then that plays a trick on you. Now, how to deal with that? If you realize that conceptual question requires the use of basics, okay, so if a student is strong in basics of any subject, eventually he can score well in the examination. So try to focus on your basics, try to make your basics strong, and from this point onwards, make a list of the topics in which you require more practice, you require more revision, and plan your revision according to that. Don't go for random revision. Means if you know a concept and you keep on revising it like 7 8 times, it will not cause an impact. But for a subject, if you exactly know how many concepts, like which concepts you are lagging and how many practice questions are required, like if you keep on practicing those lagging concepts, eventually your subject will grow. So one subject at a time, take, complete it thoroughly, and then move on to the next subject. Okay. Means this kind of analysis you need to do from this point onwards in order to score well in the examination. Okay. So, regarding GATE examination, we were discussing about the frequently asked concepts. You need not to miss out on these concepts. So, I've told you about the 5 6 subjects that are like very, very important from exam point of view, especially the subjects like environmental engineering, strength of material, which plays a key role in scoring well in the examination. Then you have subject like CMM and OCF that again will help you to score well in the examination. Okay. Now, talking about other subjects, you have subjects like water resource engineering, transportation engineering, geotechnical engineering. Then you have subject like steel structures, RCC design. Like, so all these subjects are like very important. Most of the students who will be attempting the examination, they probably complete these subjects properly, right? So especially when Sandeep sir will be here, Sandeep sir will be discussing about these other subjects, and he will going to tell you about what are the key areas in which you can focus on these topics related to these subjects. Okay. So I'm here to just give you one more announcement regarding GATE score booster sessions. These are very helpful sessions for especially the serious candidates who are targeting a great rank in the examination. We have specifically designed these sessions in order to give you most of the best of the output in very less time. And 3 hours is not a big time. And revising the complete syllabus in just 6 hours will be a great effort. So, whenever we are conducting this session, stay live with us, stay connected, keep asking your doubts, keep posting your doubts, and eventually we will be very glad to help you out in this fantastic journey of GATE examination. So, I'm here to just give you this update. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for upcoming GATE examination. That is all from my side. If you want to ask something, you can chat, post it in the chat box. Thank you so much, Rashmi. Thank you so much, Richa. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Keep preparing, keep doing your hard work, and never ever miss out in analyzing your preparation. Don't go blind on your preparation. Keep your eyes open, be alert, especially for those topics which require more frequent revision. I hope you have already prepared the formula sheet and you are revising that formula sheet every day. Because if you are not revising that formula sheet, eventually your concept may be lost. Thank you so much, Saundarya. Thank you so much. So don't miss out on the concepts. Keep revising the formula sheet because if you remember the formula, eventually you will remember the concept. And the more number of formula sheet revision will actually help you to revise the subject in very less time. You can realize after revising the formula sheet. So take out 15 to 20 minutes every day, revise your formula sheet, make a target to revise 2 or 3 chapters in a day through a formula sheet, and eventually you can see the effect. From this point onwards, try to practice more number of questions rather than reading more theory. So this is all from my side. So from tomorrow, we are starting with the first GATE score booster session of environmental engineering. Already 2 sessions of mathematics has already happened. It is taken by Priyanka ma'am. You can watch it in our YouTube live series. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. will be the time. And I'm just expecting all of you to stay connected in the live session of environmental engineering, where we can help each other out and discuss more concept. And eventually your concepts will be cleared, resolving all your doubts. So thank you, my dear students. Have a great night ahead. Take care. Bye bye.